Well, hey mamas, Jessica Coulter here. Let's talk about your teens who are seniors in high school and college one more time. Today's focus is life skills. All of those things that your teen needs to know how to do before graduation so that way your teen can be successful after graduation. Okay? So, a whole bunch of life skills to talk about. But before we get going, I want to know, what are some life skills your teen already knows? Like, what are some things your teen is excellent at that you're proud that he knows, that she knows? Maybe you're proud of yourself for teaching. I want to know what those are down below because there are a lot of them. I also want to welcome you to my Facebook group, Teaching Teens to Love Learning. If you're not a member, be sure to join us after the video. So, life skills. All right. We have talked about so many other things, so many other activities that you need to do, that your teen needs to do before he or she graduates. And if you miss those, be sure to go back and watch the replays. But definitely, life skills are super, super important, okay? We want your teens to know how to manage money. We know we need your teens to know some kind of level of cooking. We want your teens to have some understanding of laundry and some kind of understanding of maybe car maintenance, whether it's something as big as an oil change, because I'll admit I don't know how to do that, but definitely something like changing a tire is a must. Okay, so the list goes on, but definitely do know there are some definite life skills your teen needs to have before graduating. Okay, and those are some of the big ones. And I gotta tell you, mamas, we want your teens to know things like money because of the fact, your teen is about to graduate. Okay, so that means this last semester is your teen's kind of last chance to be a kid. I mean, for all intents and purposes in high school, last chance to truly be a kid, let alone your college senior. It's really his last chance to be a student, last chance to really, not have to take care of himself officially without really kind of any monitoring, whether it's you, whether it's, friends in the dorm, whether it's teachers at the school, there are going to be way more hands-off for college graduates in just a few months, okay? So we need these life skills so your teen, can take care of himself, okay? So I am curious if there's any type of budget that your teen uses right now, because that's the big kind of important one when it comes to your teens knowing financial life skills, okay? So if there is no budget for you, mama, that means there's probably no budget for your teens, and that's something I would encourage you all talk about before going back for second semester, okay? It doesn't have to be big, hairy, complicated conversation. It can be something as simple as, son, daughter, I want you to realize money is not limitless. I want you to realize that you make, I'm just going to make up numbers here, but you make, $1,000 this month. That $1,000 has to go for everything, okay? So help them understand, rent's this much, tuition's this much, the loan cost is this much, the, meal plan is this much. Help them see how fast, unfortunately, that $1,000 can get and probably will be spent next fall for your high school seniors going into college, for, your college graduates moving into an apartment, whatever the situation is. Definitely bring up the word budget, okay? Definitely. When it comes to cooking, when it comes to laundry, mamas, if your teens have never been in the kitchen, I know my own mama doesn't always want me in the kitchen, depending on kind of what she's cooking, kind of, is she feeling stressed? Is this, just for fun, family dinner? Is this like a more serious thing? Definitely though, mamas, we want your teens to have some basic understandings. Things like boiling water. Things like making sure to check the oven that it's empty before, turning on the oven. Things like, you gotta actually stir the water while it's boiling to make sure it actually does boil. So just, little things. We want your teens to have some go-to meals, especially for your college graduates, so they're not going hungry. Even if it's just something very simple that they're making a lot of, we want your teens, your young adults, to know how to make whatever it is. So definitely choose at least one thing, have your teen be proficient before graduation. Okay, and if you've got a college kiddo living in the dorm, a little tougher if your college kiddo is not anywhere near you, that would probably be something good to do before going back to school if you're not going to see your child too often this spring semester. Okay? So a couple more thoughts to share with you here about kind of trying to be hands-off on this idea of life skills. And I want to tell you what they are, mamas. But before I do, thanks for watching here on Facebook. This will be over on YouTube here very soon. Just didn't have my computer handy. So definitely make sure you're a subscriber, make sure you're a follower of Ace Cookie Tutoring, so you'll catch more videos about study skills, about teens, about learning. Okay? So, talking about life skills, but I also want to talk about the idea of your teens developing their independence. You know, your college kiddos getting more independent, because I know it's probably scary for you. I know it's definitely scary for teens, but also really, really exciting for your teens, this idea of what comes next. Okay, so I want your teens to realize they are going to be officially adults after graduation. You know, maybe you've already got an 18-year-old and they're already going, you know, I am an adult. You and I both know legally, yes, but are they really? You know, depends on the kid. But do also know your college grads, you know, if they're going into the workforce, they're going to be moving out on their own, you know, out of the dorms, away from home, whatever it is. Again, that's going to take a lot of independence. Okay, so mamas, I encourage you to be as hands-off this semester as you can. And when I say hands-off, you know, don't ignore your kids. I'm not saying, you know, don't be part of their lives, but I am saying it's not up to you anymore to make sure they're up on time. It's not up to you to make sure they're turning in that homework on time. It's not your responsibility to reach out to the teacher and say, hey, can you have an extension? Or, you know, not your responsibility to spend all night helping with a project or editing a paper, whatever it might be. So just know, you know, I encourage you, be there for your teens. You know, let them know you love them, let them know they're supported, but at the same time, do your best to back off and let them know, hey, you know, in so many months, 3 months, 4 months, this is all you. So I'm here if you need me, but your teen kind of has to self-advocate, because that is one of those life skills that's also a study skill that I teach. And your teen has to know how to ask you for help, friends for help, teachers for help, and other adults. So that is the last kind of thought, last tips I want to give for you, all about those must-do activities of your teens' final semester in high school and college. Wanted to really focus on those life skills, on this idea of what do you do as a parent during that last semester. So definitely figure out some life skills to teach. Like I said, I'd recommend that word budget. I'd recommend at least one meal. And if your teen doesn't know the difference between washing, you know, whites and darks, that's also very, very important if you don't want to get that phone call in the middle of the night of, oops, I shrunk such and such, or oops, I don't have this anymore because I ruined it. All right, so definitely have some conversations before going back. Maybe your teen prefers to read or watch videos or listen to recordings. That all comes down to those study skills, those life skills, those learning styles. But definitely some kind of talk, some kind of creation, some kind of email is going to go a long way helping your teen be ready for graduation, and even more importantly, to be more independent after graduation. So thanks for watching. Be sure to join my group if you haven't already. It's called Teaching Teens Love Learning. Links in the description. Answer a couple questions. It'll be in. And when you join the group, you'll get my Learning Style Tools guide, which is amazing for high school students and college students, even those that are about to graduate. So I want to give that to you when you join the group. Talk to you soon, mamas. Bye.